bridge and you'll be right at Bellagio. We have Treasure Island on board. Treasure Island, you can hop off with Palazzo, which is right across the street. And Gold Coast, you could probably hop off at Flamingo if you like, or you will be the last stop because I have to come back around to that one. Besides that, I hope you folks had a great time. Again, sorry for that delay. I'm going to get you guys back as quickly as possible. We'll be starting at the top of the strip, and we will work our way down. What'll help out this tour next time is, like I explained earlier, when you folks exit the bus, each and every one of you should just hold hands. Yes, I explain this all the time. And then when you come back to Las Vegas, if all of you could just exchange each other's phone numbers before you exit, the next time you come to tour in Las Vegas, you can all stay at the same hotel. That'll help out too. But try to keep a smile on your face, that is. You might be the first stop or you might be the last. Please don't take it out on the driver. Keep smiling. Let me get you back as quick as possible. We're going to have the tour guide hop back on. He's going to explain how Las Vegas was created, how the mob influenced it, and all that other good gravy and biscuit stuff. Here we go. I'm going to get you guys back, and here comes the tour guide. Thank you very much.
As we drove away from the dam, we could see a section of the transformer and grid network used to handle the electricity produced at the dam. Las Vegas gets about 24% of the electricity generated here. During the first 18 years of the dam's existence, nearly all of the electricity used in Vegas came from here. Thinking back, when it was decided how the electricity generated by the dam would be divided up, most people were of the belief that Las Vegas would just be a suburb of a larger Boulder City. It turned out the other way around. The modest community of Boulder City is now dwarfed by the sprawling metropolis of Las Vegas. It might surprise you that not only does 1/4 of the power produced at the dam go to Las Vegas, that amount of power only meets 1/4 of the amount of electricity that Las Vegas needs. Or thinking about it another way, Las Vegas on its own would consume 100% of all the electricity generated at Hoover Dam. Thanks to contracts created in 1934 and now extended through until 2067, the other 75% of the power generated here at the dam goes to Arizona and California, with California getting the biggest share. Energy from the dam is pollution-free, and on the average, there are about 4.2 billion kilowatt hours cranked out each year. Where does the rest of the electricity required for the bright lights of Las Vegas come from? The Nevada Power Company derives most of its production from plants fueled by natural gas or coal. But electricity authorities are also working on programs using cleaner, renewable energy like wind and solar. Now that we're no longer around the dam, did you ever find yourself wondering what might happen if the dam was to break? It would take a major cataclysmic event to make that happen, but let's assume for a second that it did. The immediate effect, of course, would be downstream and to Las Vegas, even though Las Vegas does not directly lie in the path the water would follow. About 10 trillion gallons of water would quickly empty out of Lake Mead, which supplies 85% of the water used by Las Vegas. So rather than being wiped out by a wave of water, what would happen is that with no water supply, Las Vegas would quickly become a ghost town, and nearly 2 million people would need to relocate. That incredible amount of water, 10 trillion gallons, rushing out of the dam would wash away complete towns and cities that do lie in the water path, including Laughlin in Nevada, Bullhead City and Lake Havasu City in Arizona, along with Blythe and Needles in California. This would destroy the homes of around 80,000 people. The devastation would also knock out 2 other electrical generating dams downstream, cutting half to 1% of the nation's electric supply. Imperial Valley, California would be gone. And gone with it would be the billions of dollars a year fruit and vegetable industry. Let's just hope this never happens. And maybe now we don't feel so bad about the security check we went through. That bridge was impressive, wasn't it? It's almost as big a star now as the dam itself. I remember being amazed at how the construction progressed at the different stages of building the span across the huge canyon. You have to hand it to the construction workers who worked 800 feet above the river below. At some stages, they would be working on top of concrete pylons, and it wasn't really obvious how they got up or down from there each day. In addition to the bridge, 5 miles of new highway was required to make the necessary connections, and 3.5 million pounds of rock was excavated. There were 8 other, considerably smaller bridges added to complete the route. From the drawing board to the first traffic crossing, the project took 9 years. Unlike the dam, this stretch of highway and the new bridge were opened with only modest fanfare on October 19, 2010. Also unlike the dam, which was completed 2 years ahead of schedule, the bridge was 2 years behind schedule. One worker was killed during bridge construction, and a Highline crane system collapsed during a severe thunderstorm, which on its own added over a year to the construction schedule. The project required more than 400 engineers and 1,200 trade and craft workers to complete. And this is the largest concrete arch bridge in the Western Hemisphere, and it sits on top of the highest precast segmented columns in the entire world. The total cost of the bridge and bypass project was $240 million. Remember the cost to build the Hoover Dam was only $49 million? Now, of course, that was 1930s value dollars. It's now projected that tourism to the dam may actually decrease as the dam is not visible from the bridge, and now it's easy to avoid it. That would be a shame, because visiting places like the Hoover Dam are a true testament to man's ability to control some aspects of Mother Nature. For a while, there was a political tug-of-war over the dam's name. Construction started during the Republican administration of Herbert Hoover. Hoover's Secretary of the Interior declared the name to be Hoover Dam at a spike driving ceremony for the railroad. Ah, good old American politics. The Great Depression occurred during the Hoover administration's first term, and so his chances of re-election were demolished. And a fair amount of political partisanship and bitterness went along with it. Voted in was Democrat Franklin Roosevelt, and his new Secretary of the Interior changed the name to Boulder Dam. Things got so ugly that Hoover was not even invited to the ribbon-cutting ceremony. It took 14 years for Congress to decide to change the name back to Hoover Dam in honor of the 31st president.